In quest of mystical experience, I knelt in darkness at St. Enodoc. I visited our local holy well, whereto the native Cornish still resort for cures for whooping cough, and drop bent pins into its peaty water. Not a sign. No mystical experience was vouchsafed. The little ferns just trembled in the wind, and everything looked as it always looked. But somewhere underneath the dunes, somewhere among the cairns or in the caves, the Celtic saints would come to me. The ledge of time we walk on, like a thin cliff path high in the mist, would show the precipice. An only child, deliciously apart, misunderstood and not like other boys, deep, dark and pitiful, I saw myself in my mind's mirror. Every step I took, a fascinating study to the world. The other parents of the holidays seemed easier to deal with than my own. Well now, my boy, I want your solemn word to carry on the firm when I am gone. 4th generation, John, they'll look to you. They're artist craftsmen to their fingertips. Go on creating beauty. What is beauty? Here where I stand, the green Atlantic bursts in cannonades of white along Pentyre. There's beauty here. There's beauty in the slate and granite, smoothed by centuries of sea and washed to life as rain and spray bring out contrasting strata higher up the cliff. But none to me in polished wood and stone, tortured by father's craftsmen into shapes to shine in Asprey's showrooms under glass, a Maharaja's Eiffel.
Here is the track, see how it goes, up on the heels, down on the toes, everybody do the varsity ride. Hotter than hot, newer than new, meaner than mean, bluer than blue, gets as much applause as waving a flag.
My walls were painted Bursa's apple green. My wide-sashed windows looked across the grass to tower and hall and lines of pinnacles. The wind among the elms, the echoing stairs, the quarters chimed across the quiet quad from Magdalen Tower and neighbouring turret clocks, gave 18th century splendour to my state. Privacy after years of public school. Dignity after years of none at all. First college rooms, a kingdom of my own. What words of mine can tell my gratitude? No wonder, looking back, I never worked. I cut tutorials with wild excuse, for life was luncheons all the way, and evenings dining with the bourgeoisie. But as the laughs grew long and loud, I heard the more insistent inner voice of guilt. "Stop!" cried my mother from her bed of pain. I heard my father in his factory say, "4th generation, John, they look to you." Silk dressing gown to Sunday morning bells, Long after breakfast had been cleared in hall, I wandered to my lavender-scented bath. Cooper's Oxford marmalade and toast but half engaged my thoughts, till Sunday calm led me by crumbling walls and echoing lanes, past college chapels with their organ groan, and churches stacked with bicycles outside, to worship at High Mass in Pusey House. Some know for all their lives that Christ is God. Some start upon that arduous love affair in clouds of doubt and argument. And some, my closest friends, seem not to want his love. And why this is, I wish to God I knew. As at the Dragon School, so still for me the steps to truth were made by sculptured stone, stained glass and vestments, holy water stoops, incense and crossings of myself. The things that hearty middle stumpers most despise as all the inessentials of the faith. Oxford May mornings. When the prunus bloomed, we'd drive to Sunday lunch at Seasoncote. First steps in learning how to be a guest. First wood smoke-scented luxury of life in the large ambience of a country house. Down the drive, under the early yellow leaves of oaks, one lodge is Tudor, one in Indian style. The bridge, the waterfall, the temple pool, and there they burst on us. The onion domes, chudgers and chutries made of amber stone, home of the oaks, exotic Seasoncote. Stately and strange it stood, the nabob's house, Indian without and coolest Greek within, looking from Gloucestershire to Oxfordshire. Dear Mrs. Dugdale, mother of us all, in trailing and Edwardian-looking dress, sweet confidante in every tale of woe. The Colonel's eyes looked out towards the hills, while at the other end our hostess heard political and undergraduate chat. "Oh, Ethel," loudly Colonel Dugdale's voice boomed sudden down the table. "That manure, I've had it shifted to the strawberry beds." "Yes, Arthur. Major Attlee, as you said, 17 million of the poor Chinese eat less than half a calorie a week." So Seasoncote became a second home. Dinner with Maurice Barra, sharp at 8. High up in Wadham's hospitable quad, a dozen oysters and a dryish hock, claret and tornado, a bombe surprise, the fusillade of phrases. "I'm a man more dined against than dining," rattled out in that incisive voice and chucked away to be reused in envious common rooms by imitation Morrises. I learned, if learn I could, how not to be a bore, and merciless was his remark that touched the tender spot if one were showing off. Within those rooms I met my friends for life, and as the evening mellowed into port, he read us poems. There I learned to love that lord of landskip, Alfred Tennyson. There first heard Thomas Hardy's poetry. King of a kingdom underneath the stars, I wandered back to Magdalen, certain then as now that Maurice Barra's company taught me far more than all my tutors did.